Okay. All right.
I claim, like, I really feel like people should change that it's a negative thing to be conceited.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing is, I look at it like this: there's only one of you, and you get the best of you all the time.
Preach.
So it's just like, okay, cool. No matter what Angel's doing, Angel has a way of, hey, you know what? I'm stuck in traffic, but I'm cute though.
That's it.
It's always
That is
it's
it.
always you always interject something like that in everything that you do. And I just find it I find it very entertaining and very uplifting.
Well, thank you.
So
It came with learning the skin I am in and loving and appreciating it. But I've literally been doing it all my life. I used to have that little disposable camera like.
ladies and gentlemen, and everyone who doesn't even want to identify as either, welcome to another special episode of I Said All That to Say. I am here this day with my girl, Angel B.
That's me.
Yes. And we will have the invisible voice man, Mr. Heath Wiggins, also joining us today. Shout out to the folks that make this all happen at Elevation Global Media Group.
Whoop, whoop.
We are going to jump right into today's topic. But before we do that, Angel, I missed you.
Aw, well,
And it's
thank
great
you.
to have you on
Thank
set
you.
today. I'm excited to sit here and to chop it up with my sister.
I'm honored to be here. We're matching today.
Hey, you know what? Great minds think alike. They
Hey.
say that, and we mean it. So, what's up? What's on your mind today? What
So,
you want to tell me?
Thomas,
Okay.
I saw this clip that blew my mind. We all
Okay.
know Michael Todd. If you don't know
Yes,
Michael
yes.
Todd,
Very
you got
familiar.
to know Michael Todd. You've heard Michael Todd. Like, this guy blew up.
Okay.
Literally within, I want to say within a year or so. This
Yeah.
it had to have been like, okay, so he's a pastor out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. An amazing communicator. I think he's a great preacher. He was doing this interview, right, talking about singles dating. And his comment, I'm gonna read it because I don't want to mess this up.
Okay.
He said the concept of dating is like practicing divorce.
Okay.
He say we're told to try it as many times as you want until you get it right. And unknowingly, what we're doing is forming a habit of getting into things to get out of them. I wish I heard that entire interview, but that alone had my mind. As a single person, I was sitting there wondering, like, is this really a thing? Is this something that we really get ourselves into when dating? We're technically practicing divorce. Now, I don't know. Married. I don't know nothing about married life. Don't plan on it no time soon unless God come down to his angels and be like, sis, you next.
He got you, Angel.
Listen,
He got
I ain't
you.
looking.
Don't even worry about it. You don't have to look. Someone is going to find you.
Well, praise him. I've already been found. Glory
All
to
right,
God.
there we go.
By the grace of Jesus.
All right.
So listen,
All
Thomas,
right.
Thomas.
Yes.
This concept of dating in your dating life as a single,
Uh-huh.
would you think that dating around was like something practicing divorce? Now, the thing that got me when he made this comment was that we unknowingly build this habit of when we get into things we're supposed to get out of. I'm gonna table that because I don't I feel like people, when you hear pastors, it's like, oh, let me take that and run with it. Because some people will hear that and be like, all right, well, if that's the case, I feel like, and I'm not projecting on people, but I feel like a lot of people will hear that and be like, oh, well, if that's the case, let me not do that. Or how do I get out of this habit of getting into things and get out of it? But I'm going to table that because we're going to come back here. Back to your single life and dating, and you're married now.
Okay.
Do you think that when you were dating, that was like you practicing?
Well,
Divorce.
I will say this. There was definitely a divide. I had a few divisions in my single life.
Okay.
There was when I was dating just to be dating.
Okay.
And I really wasn't looking for anything serious. There was when I did date with a purpose, with as far as attempting to find a partner for the rest of my life. And then there was just whatever.
Okay.
And the whatever,
Harlotry.
I knew you were gonna call it that, so I left that one up there. I wanted to give you an easy assisting. But there was a big difference. And I mean, I could kind of understand the concept of what he's talking about in a sense, but at the same time, I feel for single folks right now.
Right now, yes.
I see a lot of my single, I see a lot of single people online, and I know a lot of single folks, and I'm hearing about their trials and tribulations through dating, and I feel like Mike Todd did exactly what Mike Todd set out to do with making that comment. He said it. He knew that it was going to be inflammatory. Mike Todd he's a better Bishop Oles to me. Instead of skating and doing all the other stuff, he has a really good way of capturing a small moment and making it as viral as possible. If there's one thing that Mike Todd knows.
Who's Bishop Oles?
Bishop Oles is the little slender, balding, older, well-dressed gentleman that's always skating.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he got famous on TikTok.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Real famous
I
on
was
TikTok.
like, Joel Osteen.
Yeah,
Old.
yeah,
like,
Bishop
Bishop
Oles.
Oles,
He was on Steve Harvey.
Yeah, I know you're talking
exactly
about.
who you're talking about. That's my guy.
Yeah,
I've never heard him talk. I only seen him skate.
He out here in the DMV, out in Clinton.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know if it's Clinton. I actually think it's closer than that. I think it's Ardwick Road, somewhere in that area.
Right.
I think he's PG County.
Well,
Okay,
I need to go
PG
skate
County.
with him.
Yeah,
We
I
not
don't.
gonna act like Clinton ain't PG County, y'all.
I know.
I mean, it's so
close to
lower.
Waldorf.
It's so lower PG County, and then I mean, the next adjacent city is Waldorf.
There
and
you
got
go.
you got to fly to get there.
You're right.
It's so far. But I think he knew what he was doing with it. Whether he would have to flesh it all the way out,
Right.
for me to make a decision on how I feel about it. But right now, it just doesn't sound. It doesn't even sound right.
Heath, I need to know I need to know your opinion on this.
Yes.
Just from that clip. We're speaking from just from that clip alone because that clip was released. I'm sure the whole interview is out there somewhere. But just that clip alone.
Yeah.
He be lying.
He be lying.
Okay.
No, so I saw the clip that you sent.
Okay.
And I first was initially offended because I don't like when people who have a podium and a pulpit to preach from or to speak or a platform to speak from, not just pastors, but anybody that has a large, and they give blanket statements that covers everybody's situation. They make these quotables, and it sounds real nice and nice cliche, and you can put it on a meme or on a T-shirt.
Facts.
But it doesn't apply to people's lives in every respect. And so I think it's very important that people who have these platforms, specifically pastors, be careful how they communicate this message. Now, with respect to his message, I don't think that's true. I don't think people approach relationships and think, oh, I'm going to use this this model to get out of relationships when I get married. I've been doing relationship consulting for 21 years. And I've seen every imaginable scenario or situation that I can come across that mimics so many different ways the relationships are formed and the relationships entered into and then they exit. And that's just, his statement is just not really true. Some people do bring in a pathology of, I'm not going to be here long because if I don't get what I want from the relationship, then I'm out. Some people do bring that in there. So he's not incorrect, but that's not the model. That's not, people don't always approach relationships like that.
That's not everybody.
Yeah. So he just be making stuff up. It sound good.
I think a lot of pastors do, especially in this world of social media now. It's like, let me figure out what's going to go viral. Let me make a statement that's going to catch. But when I heard it as a single woman, I thought it was a slap in the face coming from a man, because what I heard was that the whole getting into things to get out of it, like that's what we're unknowingly doing, creating these habits, is that when I get into a relationship with a person, I'm supposed to stick there and work it out, even if it's not working. And
even if it's toxic,
even if it's toxic,
even if it's detrimental to your well-being.
And so I'm like, I think we should get into dating relationships and learn to say no. Learn to say this isn't working for me. Advocate for ourselves, especially as women and men too. Some men, we ain't gonna act like men don't get into these relationships with these hardcore women that's just bossing them around. It happens. Toxicity happens on both sides, both male and women. And I'm just like, we need to be in these relationships to be able to learn advocate what we want and what we need.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like this: when I had all of these ideals, before, we all start at some point in time, we have a checklist of what we want or what we think would be great in a partner. And it's a lot of them are these, I hate to quote this man, but I'm not even going to give his name, but these high value items. And the thing is, an ideal is an idea till you try it. And then once you get it and you find out, I don't really need that. Or I thought I wanted this. And you need to find out things as you grow as a person and as you are around different people and you meet different people, you learn stuff. Now, whether or not you should get into any form of committed situation from the jump, which was, I realized that was my dating world. We went out, and by the second date, we go together.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I paid for that meal. We go together.
Together forever.
And I know for my community, there aren't a lot of people out there that really were stepping forward telling you how to date.
True.
You met somebody, you thought they was cute, and whether or not you took it from there is what ended up happening. But there's no one out there telling you, okay, this is how you should date. This is how you should go about meeting people.
And that's why I started, Thomas, back in 2017, 18, the Millennial Dating Chronicles, because I knew that there was people out there dating, especially millennials at the time. Yeah. They were trying to just figure stuff out. They didn't have anybody giving them that.
Navigate on their own.
Yeah, navigate on your own out there, just winging it.
Yep.
Women and men.
There's a lot of mommies with a lot of daddies because they winged it.
Yes.
And they in this relationship still winging it.
And they still winging it, and they still at the time they didn't have any kind of guidance or any kind of understanding. So I was like, let me help, and I gathered some millennials together and help allow them to tell their story, and then gave some commentary over top of it at the end. Yeah. But when I was listening to when I listened to that video, Angel, that's what I want to say. Your point that you made about what you heard from it was a very interesting topic. And that's why I don't like when people who have platforms get out there and make these blanket statements, because he doesn't have the perspective of a woman who has your journey. No. He doesn't have that perspective. And so what he may be unintentionally saying is that a relationship pre-marriage is something that is teaching you bad skills. Yeah. So that you have to apply those bad skills in your marriage, and your marriage is going to be doomed. And that's not at all the message I'm sure he wanted to communicate. But when you don't have the perspective of other people's lives or experiences or your healthy and healed journey, right, then you make these statements and you think that it applies to other people, and it doesn't apply.
I don't know, Heath. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he thought about it in the sense of giving any form of real advice. I really think he set out to make a viral moment. We're talking about a gentleman who, like Angel said, came out of nowhere as far as worldwide notoriety. And I knew a little bit about him before the pandemic, but with the pandemic and being a little closer on my phone, I've seen nothing but Mike Todd.
So I wish Chloe was here, because Chloe told me about him years ago. I think when I was doing Millennial Dating Chronicles, she told me about have you seen his sermon series called Relationship Goals? And
that thing blew up.
That's what blew him up.
That's
what blew him up. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And so I mentor a young adult couples group. Been doing it for about 5 years. And we watched his 7-part series in that group. And while I was watching it, I was like, this dude out here
I wish we had time to really just hear your thoughts on that series of a sermon.
Yeah, I thought a lot of the points he made were good points, and that's kind of where this feeling comes from about his comments now. Like he makes these statements that rhyme and have a good little snap to them. It's like, oh, that's deep, and you see people in the audience writing down, and I'm like, oh my goodness,
y'all ain't ready to unpack that
don't even make sense.
It's
that
like,
doesn't apply when this scenario happens.
Right.
That doesn't apply. So what? I'll let you talk the second, Thomas.
oh no, go ahead.
So what? The reason why I do not go out and promote myself as a relationship expert and stuff like that, who wants to get on the stage, even though I've been doing this for 22 years, and I don't get on the stage and make these quotables, is because I've been in the trenches with these people who have been cheated on and want to stay, who have left and want to come back, whose wife bust him over the head with a pot, and he left, and he's giving her ultimatums about what he needs to do to come back so they can take care of their 2 children. So I've been in the session one-on-one with these dudes, crying, and with these women crying, breastfeeding a newborn baby during the session after she just found out her husband's a serial cheater. So I know that all these little cliches don't apply to that situation, to that situation. And when you're talking to an audience, and when you have an audience that you're listening, that's watching you online, everybody's situation is different. Exactly. And so you're making these little quotables that sound good in your orbit, but this stuff doesn't apply, and it has an effect like it had on you.
On single women, single people. I'll put that out there. Single people.
Yeah. I just don't think it's good. Go ahead, Thomas.
No, I mean. No, I was echoing what you were talking about. We pretty much were going to make the same point. I think it was a lot of this stuff nowadays is engineered. You know, you knew exactly what you were going to say, and you knew exactly what you want, what nerve you wanted to hit. Because even in our anger and our up or things burn us up, sometimes we'll find ourselves, okay, now I'm on their page. What other stupid stuff they done said? And I'm just giving them clicks and attention and time. And next thing you know, now I might be following them because they got that page where if you go on it, you automatically follow them. And it's all kinds of stuff. And I think that they're taking that we've gotten so caught up in this tool that we can use that we've found a way to water down our content and not say the things that we need to say as people of God to other people of God that would actually be truthful.
So you don't think he believes what he's saying? You just think he out here?
I'm not going to go as far and say that Mike Todd doesn't believe what he's saying, but I think that the other agenda gets in the way sometimes. And the other agenda of going viral, the other agenda of making, this would be a great moment for Instagram. This would be great to post on Facebook. I think those motives sometimes get in the way of what it is that he's really trying to say.
Well, we've said all that to say. Single people, take your advice from your married people with a grain of salt. Every relationship is going to be different.
Absolutely.
And just don't run with what you hear for the first time. Okay? Thomas, take it away.
Hey, speaking of being single, this can be a real iffy time to be single.
Man, tell me about it.
We are going into the holidays, and for a lot of people, this is a great time of the year. For some of our single people, they might be dreading it because this is another year that they are showing up without anybody.
By yourself. Got to answer all the questions. Where your man at? Where your girlfriend at?